My number one piece of advice would be done is better than perfect. So many people try to be perfectionists. If all you're doing is planning, there's other people out there like us that are executing. The second thing is have great customer service to turn from just being internet marketers with a brand to a known entity. Most people say, I bought something from Facebook. Once you develop and cultivate brand, they're buying it from your brand. The third thing is SMS and email game. You constantly have to be, touching your customers. If we don't email you or SMS you, another company is.
Number one, be able to take criticism. You have to be openly ready to receive that kind of information. We got to learn from people that have done it bigger than us, people that have done it stronger than us, and people that have done it on a much larger scale. The second thing is try to surround yourself with like-minded people. You want aggressive people. You want people that have that sales mentality. You want the people that want to be successful. The third piece of advice I would give to anybody in this game is to truly have some level of enjoyment in what you're doing. The more you care, typically the more profitable the item or service tends to be. CLTV is a big one for me, understanding that customer lifetime value. It's also good to kind of understand that customer is going to make 3 to 4 purchases over a lifetime. Like we kind of talked about a second ago, that refund is okay. It's okay to let that happen because there's more to come, right? The second C is going to be content. Every email you send doesn't have to be gimme, gimme, gimme. You can inform, you can educate, whether it is a return policy, whether it's the blog you're going to write, whether it's your live content. From my perspective, understanding that CLTV and then the content that you send them, it has to be engaging. How do you get them excited about that? That's where you have to be creative.
Be building relationships. So it's easy to have a relationship when you're interacting with your customers, whether you're selling during Facebook Live sessions, whether you have a group where you're interacting with customers on the daily, whatever you're doing, you have to be building a relationship with those customers. Also drives that lifetime value. At BluePack, we've been able to work with some really big names. One of the main things that I would say is check in with your payment processors. You want to make sure that they're expecting scale, especially for sales events, any sort of big promotions. We have seen that where you have a store that might be doing $5,000 a day every day, and then out of nowhere it does $100,000 a day. That sets off all kinds of red flags. So it's always good to scope out when that increase is going to be. Try to give them as much of a heads up as possible so it doesn't, raise any flags. Some things, I believe Gorgias offers this feature as well. Auto hiding keywords that are indicative of kind of a negative connotation will prevent a lot of your potential customers, big fans, top fans of the page from seeing that negativity. The positive part to the hater aspect would be they're boosting the algorithm enough to help you out. The more comments, the more interactions, the more engagements you have, the better. No publicity is bad publicity. As long as you're hiding some of that stuff, I think for the most part, you have a pretty solid strategy. If there's a certain area that your brand or your company or your business sucks at and your customers are telling you, you need to fix it. And if anything, they're kind of giving you the blueprint to make your life easier and to make you more money. And then once you have less things that you suck at, they'll ultimately buy more, which will ultimately put more dollars in your pocket.